All right, may as well make a video of this since we've just kind of put it in recently. Just for those of you that missed practice or maybe didn't quite understand what we were doing. This is the extended 131 which we put in. And it's interesting as a change of pace, kind of be a little more aggressive sometimes. And it's kind of an extension of our diamond press in a way. It's not exactly the same thing, but kind of similar concepts. So I just wanted to show you just basically where everybody's supposed to go and what we're trying to accomplish here. You'll see, by the way, if you follow these numbers, that at the beginning of the zone we don't have the point guard. We keep the point guard all the way back underneath the basket, and that'll become kind of clear why we do that a little later. The person we have kind of at the top of the zone is someone who's usually a little taller, who can be very, very active with kind of long hands that'll influence the ball and really just make life difficult on the opposing point guard when it comes to getting in the passing lanes and that type of thing. So we'll kind of just kind of play this along and we'll just kind of see what everybody's supposed to do. So as I just mentioned, I mean, it's the goal of the four-man to push this thing out of the middle, okay? Whichever way he wants. Doesn't really matter to me whether he goes one way or the other. Now, you'll see I put the offense in a 2-1-2 set, which is usually what offenses will eventually turn into when they try to go against this thing. So essentially what's happening is it's up to the four to get this ball out of the midpoint. And then when it gets kind of over the half line, it's up to him to kind of get in this passing lane between the two guards. Okay, you don't necessarily have to trap that aggressively, but at least make it difficult on him to swing the ball, right? Because we have the two guy, the other wing, coming up to help trap and to help put pressure on him, and this is kind of the idea behind this whole defense is to distort passing lanes. In other words, you'll see the wing, the two, is trying to just get in the passing lane between the guard who's been pushed out there and the corner guy, right? And likewise, this four-man is now kind of just bluffing and retreating and bluffing and retreating to kind of stay in between the passing lanes between these two guys. Now you'll see that it's up to the five-man to keep the ball out of that high post. And you'll see that we put him up like all the way at the top of the key. And he's side denying, he's trying to keep it out of there. And he's also responsible in case the one tries to drive it in there. He has to step up and do that. Now you'll see, as we kind of resume this, the other wing drops back here. And this is a very important concept, is when one wing is up here, the other wing has to be back to stop this diagonal pass. So these kind of two wings are kind of working on a string. One wing is up and the other one is back. When you see it get swung the other way, this wing will come up and this wing will come back to prevent the diagonal pass. Now you'll see the point guard, his job is to kind of run corner to corner. So similar to our diamond press where he's kind of ball side, he's again kind of sitting ball side waiting for that first pass to go to the corner. And he's got to also be prepared if the ball swings all the way down to this corner, he's got to run and get it. So that's basically the idea when you start off is, this four-man gets in the way of these guard-to-guard pass. The wing gets in the way of the guard-to-forward pass. The five-man tries to keep it out of the high post, and it's very important this other wing drops. And the one is going to be going back and forth between the two forwards in the corner. So you see what happens when this ball swings. So when this ball swings, all right, the responsibilities are going to be the same. The four is going to have to come and get in the passing lane. The three is going to have to step up here and make this pass to the corner more awkward. The one's going to have to start running towards this way to get ball side. And the five is going to continue to have to front the high post. So this is exactly what happens. Now you'll see that the five actually has to come underneath, which is actually pretty important. Okay, so everything shifts. You'll see that one wing goes up, other wing comes down, right? Four is in the way of the passing lane. What we want to do is we want to, make sure that they can either pass under us or over us, right? That's fine, but they just can't pass through us. And the three, this other wing, is up here high, trying to just, distort this passing lane between the guard and the forward. All right, so now if it goes down here to the corner, Again, the wing again is getting in this passing lane. Now what's important is that when it goes to the corner, the four-man who was originally getting in the way of these guard-to-guard passes, now he has to guard the high post. And when he goes to guard the high post, the postman who was there always has to guard the lowest posted guy. So if it comes back over here, once again, the four's got to go up and get in that passing lane. 3 is in between the guard and the forward. 5 is denying the high post. 1 is ball side. 1 wing up, other wing back. And again, we'll swing it that way just to see. 1 gets ball side. 1 wing up, the other one back. 4 is in this passing lane. 5 is going underneath and side denying. Ball comes down here, right? Post guy goes to guards the lowest guy. 4-man gets the high post. These 2 get in the way. Back up to the guard. Very important. You have to remember that if these guys are going to ever drive it in here, this 5-man's got to be prepared to take this, and these other 2 guys have to be prepared to collapse, which is like that. And the other thing that's very important in this is that whenever the ball is shot, this 4-man's got to rebound from the top here. So let's look at this again in kind of full speed. See how this flows. 1 wing up, the other one down. 1 wing up, the other one down. Side of the high post, goes to the corner. 1 wing up, the other one down. 1 wing up, the other one down. Side of the high post, trying to get in that passing lane. Make sure to always deal with the penetration, and they should always rebound. Now, again, those are the normal slides, but remember the key is you've got to keep your hands high in this thing, all right? If we're going to be distorting passing lanes, you've got to have your hands really high, and you have to be very, very active. So hands high, feet low, you know what I mean? So if the ball's flowing high, try to jump up and get a piece of it. Ball throws low, try to kick it out of bounds. You know, make them throw over us and under us. You know, you just can't allow these direct passes. Let's run it through one more time. We're pushing him one way, distorting the passing lanes. Again, try to distort that passing lane over there. 1 is going corner to corner. Like that. And remember that post has got to bust to the low post when the ball goes in the corner. See that? And everybody rebounds. And that plus lots and lots of reps and repetitions. It's a pretty good way to play. And we're going to be calling this Panther, by the way, once it's in, which should be in the next day or so. We're going to be calling this defense Panther, just so everybody just knows the difference between 131, 113, whatever it is. This one's going to be called Panther.